do this. We got a little Nuke the props today. We got a lot of news to get to before we even do so. Tyler should be stopping by here any minute. Look forward to catching up to him because last week he and I kind of talked through the Jamison Williams play, and it was absolutely spectacular. He wanted to ladder him up to 100, which we did. I wanted to get his longest reception, which we did. And I think that was a 4 or 5 unit play this past weekend. Here's Tyler. Here we go, buddy. Hey, thank you very much for talking about Jamison Williams with me last week. That kind of paid off.
No problem.
It was a 4 or 5 unit payout. You had the yards. I did the longest reception, probably going back to him again. But what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Welcome back to Nuke the Props.
That's good. Sorry I'm late. Little financial or not financial problems. No financial problems after this week, but technical problems because playing dog sitter for the weekend, so I had to get everything set up at my dad's house. So
what kind of dog
took me so long. You said what?
What kind of dog you taking care of?
3 beagles.
Oh, they're loud too, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're loud. All right, buddy.
They are
so
loud.
Listen, I'm going right back to Jamison Williams again this week. By the way, everybody want to hit the like button. Let's go. Bang the like button. Make sure you sign up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Last night, Keg was very disappointed. We didn't get the 2,100 followers. We're stuck on 2,094. So you get to 2,100, we'll start doing free shows again. How about that? But Tyler, talk to me here, dude, because I was surprised when I went and I got the alert that the Jamison Williams prop dropped. And his longest reception is 20.5, which is ridiculous. I don't even remember the last time it was 20.5. Every single game, this guy seems to blow through that number. I think it's been 2 times this year that he has not hit that number. That's one catch for this dude. We see it every single week. Listen, I think I bet it 5 times this year. It's hit 4 times. I'm going right back to the well. I'm not even going to say if you haven't bet this bet, don't hop on the bandwagon now. I think it's a good bet. What do you make of Jamison Williams this week? And I don't know what you think of the matchup. I just think it's an indoor game against the Colts. You target Jamison Williams a couple of times, and there's a good chance he's getting a 21, 22-yard catch.
No, for sure. I understand where you're coming from with that. I'm not targeting him this week, though, Holden. I'm not going back to him. When we targeted him last week, it was against the Jags, who like to run a cover 1 scheme. They're playing man-to-man. You can't man-to-man him. He's just too fast. Well, the Colts run the least man-to-man coverage in the entire league. They run a bunch of zone. I don't think his routes really do as well against zone as he does against man-to-man. So I think it's more of an Amon-Ra St. Brown game, and they run the ball a bit more. So I think Amon-Ra gets pelted with the ball in that game. I think they run it more, and I think that game's a little trappy too. I think the Colts keep it closer. The prop I was looking at in that game, I haven't seen it populate yet, was Anthony Richardson's rushing yards. Running quarterbacks have always done good against the Colts. Lamar crushes them. Kyler crushes them. We hit that Kyler bet on the first play of the game earlier this year with his rushing yards. Anthony Richardson's rushing yards are going to come out eventually. They have to. It's going to be somewhere between, I think, high 30s, low 40s. I want the over there, and I want it up to 60. I think he's going to crush that matchup.
So let me give you a counterpoint to your, and I found these notes here, your counterpoint to the zone, right? Now, obviously, I'm not betting Jamison Williams to get 100 yards. I'm not laddering him. I'm betting on him to get a big catch. So we've got 2 high coverage coming from the Colts this week and some zone. This dude has a 22.7% target share against the 2 high, almost 3 yards per reception per route, 3 yards route per reception, and then 31% first read. I mean, everything is looking to me for Jamison Williams to have an absolute big catch and maybe a big game again. But for me, Jamison Williams over, I like it a lot. So you and I will look at it differently, but you want to know Richardson rushing yards? Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I don't see it on FanDuel. I don't see it on DraftKings. I don't see it on Rivers. No rushing yards.
39 and a half. 39 and a half. 39 and a half at MGM, 365 Caesars, and 40 and a half at Sugar House.
Yeah, I'll gladly take the over on that.
Yeah? So he's just going to smash this week, Anthony Richardson, on the ground.
It's just running quarterbacks. They get that spot where you look up at the Detroit defense, and they're all dropping back in the zone, and there's 10 yards to the first down before the first defender, so you just take off running.
All right. I'll I'll get in on that with you. So now I got a couple bets that I'm going to be sweating out in the Detroit-Indianapolis game. I look at the Indianapolis secondary too. They were supposed to be the worst coming into the season. They haven't been that bad. They've been average. I just don't think that this is a team that I'm going to be afraid to target in the passing game this week. I'm with you on Amon-Ra too. The dude scores a touchdown every single week, but let's move on. We've talked enough about the Detroit Lions to this point. We do have a lot of news to get to, and I don't know if this is going to affect anything that you're betting, but Jake Ferguson's out. Maybe we got some Schoonmaker coming up this week with the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, he's going to play. Devontae Smith is out for the Eagles. That's big. Brock Purdy missing another practice. I mean, this is getting bad for the Niners now because Trent Williams wasn't out there. Purdy wasn't out there. Talk about some of these injuries. I think there's some massive issues with the Niners already against the Eagles. Now, I get it. Devontae Smith is out, but I don't even know where to go if Purdy's out of this game. Like, is it just Christian McCaffrey? Is it fade everyone? Is it take the Eagles running game, even though you're not getting great numbers on ladders there? The Niners look like they're in a lot of trouble, Tyler.
Yeah, the Niners for sure look like they're in a lot of trouble. But do you think they're playing the Eagles this week, Holden? Because they're playing Green Bay.
Green Bay. My bad.
Okay.
Green
that
Bay.
threw me all off for a second. But yeah,
no,
it
should have thrown you off. I was thinking about we were breaking down the Eagles yesterday. But yeah, Green Bay, San Francisco, and Green Bay is going to lay the hammer this week. I think it was 2.5. But
yeah, I see -3, -120 now. Yeah. And my guess is that number's moved because Brock Purdy didn't practice today. Probably leaning towards he doesn't play. And man, this team is getting bit by the injury bug over and over and over again. It just won't go away. So I think Green Bay comes out, even after that tough game against Chicago. We've seen divisional games. They always end up being tough. Last night's a perfect example. The Browns are 2-8. The Steelers are 8-2. What happens? The Browns win the game. So divisional games always get funky. Green Bay gets in that battle with Chicago last week. I think that this San Francisco team, with the health they're dealing with, I think Green Bay just shreds them. So I like Green Bay -3. I'd probably take it up to maybe 4.5 too once the Purdy news comes out and he's officially out.
2 days ago, this is DraftKings, okay? 2 days ago, it was a 1.5 point spread. Moves to 2, 2.5, briefly touches 3 because Purdy missed practice. Now we got, again, Purdy out of practice today, and this line has moved to 3.5. I mean, this is a big move here, Tyler. So the books, they're not even waiting for Kyle Shanahan to talk today. They've moved this thing. Either big bets are coming in or the books are just looking at this. But if you got in at the 2.5 that spread was talking about yesterday, you got to feel pretty good. You got to be feeling pretty good. And then I was saying, yeah, I think Bosa is probably not going to play. What an absolute debacle by the Niners it's been so far this season. It's tough. It's tough to watch, but you lose Super Bowls the next year, you come back. Like there's numbers that support it. Super Bowl losers, they missed the playoffs, and the Niners are still in the mix, Tyler, but I don't know how to attack this game. If Purdy's in, I still like Jawan Jennings. If he's not, I don't even know how to handle it. Seriously. Like, do we want to target anyone on the Packers side? Not so sure about that. If Purdy's not the quarterback, do you really want to mess with anybody on the Niners side? Maybe McCaffrey. That'd be it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a Green Bay spot. They're in Green Bay. Weather's probably going to play a factor in this also because we see what the weather looked like last night. You're going to start getting some bad weather games. I think Josh Jacobs is able to run on this defense, and Jordan Love's always been able to throw on this defense. It just comes down to how many mistakes he's going to make. I don't think he makes a bunch of mistakes against a beat-up defense, so I think Green Bay puts it on San Francisco in this spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the weather on that game right now because that will be a story. Last night was awesome. So
last night was awesome.
45 degrees, chance of rain, 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. That's nothing. But yeah, last night was awesome. Just watching all that snow go down. Woo-hoo! That was a blast. And we won money too. We were complaining the whole game that we were going to lose money, and then we kind of backdoored some cash at the end. What up, Daniel Barry? Good to see you. Hey, if you want to drop your best bet in the chat, go for it. If you have not signed up to Nuke the House, go for it. We got a free week trial for you. The code is Nuke November. You see it above me in red. One word, Nuke November. Go to nukethehouse.com, click subscribe, sign up for any plan. We won't charge you unless you want to be charged at the end of the week. Nuke November is the code. You going to say something, Tyler? Or are we ready for the next one?
No, we're ready for the next one, Holden. We keep moving.
All right, let's do it. In-game target. This is an in-game target this week. We've been doing all right with the in-game targets. Sam Darnold interception. Now, pre-flop minus 115. Darnold has 10 picks in 10 games. He's got an interception in 3 of 4 outdoor games. The Bears have at least one interception of 7 of 10. And they have just been, as much as Eberflus has been a disaster, their pass defense has been spectacular. They're second against the pass in EPA. I think Sam Darnold's going to be in a little bit of trouble sometimes, divisional game. So I put a half a unit down already at minus 15. I'm going to try and get it at a much better number in game, Tyler, but I think Darnold throws a pick this week, and I'm feeling pretty confident about it. We can poop on the Bears all we want, but don't mess with their secondary. They have been nasty this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Darnold's been a trash can after the first couple weeks. We all knew that was like a free trial, that he wasn't going to be good the whole year. That's just how he's been. And I feel like he sits at his locker after games now holding, he goes, man, JJ was really supposed to be playing football at this point, and I was supposed to be just holding a clipbort. Like, why am I still out here in week 12? So he knows it wasn't supposed to be his job all year. He's really starting to not lean into it, but the variance is really starting to hit him on the bad side. So they can't get Justin Jefferson in the end zone. Aaron Jones is a good running back, but I don't really trust their running game. Their offensive line hasn't been the same since Darisaw went down. The defense is still good, but I think he's going to be in a spot where he's throwing a lot against the Chicago defense. And Jalen Johnson and these guys could easily get interceptions. So I like that call. My only worry betting it live is he throws it early in the game.
Well, that's why I threw a half unit down now. I don't like betting interception props at minus money. It's slightly minus money. But if I can get through the first quarter at that price, we're probably going to get what? Plus 115, plus 120. Yeah. I don't want to wait till halftime.
Worst case scenario, you bet it. You hit it at minus 115, and then you bet the 1.5 at plus money, and he throws another one.
Yeah, I don't think I can bet 2 on that, but I'll tell you this much. I think he's set up for a nice spot to get picked. Chicago's a tough place to play on the road, division game, great secondary. Yeah, I get it. He's got some weapons out there, but I see the Bears taking care of him. So our boy Matty, who's feeling a little better. Have you ever taken black market antibiotics? Because that is what Matty's doing right now for his infection in his face, and it's actually starting to work. So that's good. Anyways, he hedged Jameson Williams uncorrelated parlay.
Feeling better.
Yeah. Me too. I'm happy for Matty. I forgot I got to bet
gain some superpowers with those black market antibiotics.
Yeah. It's not a good scene for him. But here's the issue I have this week again, Matty, with the uncorrelated play with Jameson. Like, it's 2.5 receptions, dude. He's starting to get a bigger target.
4 targets.
Yeah. I mean, I'll bet it just for a little taste, because we've been betting it all year, and Matt has been crushing these non-correlated parlays. He had it like a 90 to 1.
Yeah, I got a prop we could talk about, Holden, because this is one where it's like eventually this prop's gonna break, and this number is just way too low. And this is like alt city, because the moment he does find the ball, he's gonna crush his numbers, and that's Jalen Waddle. 38.5 on a receiver that can take a slant 75 yards for a touchdown. Like, Jonnu Smith can't keep getting the ball in Miami. Like, he just can't. Somebody else has to get this ball. And we talk about targeting man-to-man defenses. New England loves to run a lot of man-to-man. We get a really fast guy on the other side. I think I'm going to take some Waddle. Give me the over 38.5. 100 yards on Waddle is 9 to 1.
Whoa. I will
One
give
big
you
catch, all of a sudden you're in game for that.
I will give you a 37.5 minus 17 at Bet River Sugar House.
Yeah.
So
Jalen Waddle's the guy this week.
Waddle's your man, huh? Whew.
Jalen Waddle's going to be our Jameson Williams from last week.
I'm going the same game, though. So over the past 3 weeks, this guy is 8th among 42 qualifiers in production over expectation and 3rd in EPA and targets. He faces, just like Waddle, 31st pass defense and DVOA. In his first meeting back in October with Tyler Huntley, Tyreek Hill, double-digit targets, 69 yards. I know that Gonzalez is back there, and I know that the Patriots secondary has improved, but this to me, finally, Tyreek Hill is going to go bananas. I think this is the week he goes. I think both of us can get home. I think you can get home with your Waddle, and I think I can get home with my Tyreek Hill. So
they're going to have
Waddle
a game
again,
where they look like last year eventually, where they're throwing 50-yard touchdowns. They're flying up and down the field. Why not right here at home versus New England?
I like it too because the numbers come down. Like it opened at 66.5. It's down to 63.5. It'll get back up. Actually, you know what? Since I bet it, now there's a 61.5 out there. So I'll give the 61.5. But we got two guys where their numbers just, they don't make sense. I like the Waddle thing. 9-1 on 100 is insane. And then Tyreek's number, I didn't see a 100 on Tyreek, but that's probably something I should look at. This is just, again, this is an offense that's this far away, isn't it, Tyler? They're this far away from just busting it. It's been a lot of
they are right at the cusp of just finally breaking back out and being that crazy offense we've seen last year.
It's going to happen. We keep seeing it. We keep watching it. And Tyreek's fine. He's a full go. We're not worried about the wrist again.
We're not worried about the wrist anymore?
No, we're not worried about that.
I see 3-1 on 100 for Tyreek Hill.
Plus 340 at DraftKings, 240 for 90, 80 is 170.
I think you bet both those guys to get 100, and you probably walk away with units in the end.
You think?
Yeah. Okay. And you might walk away with a lot. Because we've seen them both get over 100 in a game where Tua throws 300. So it could easily happen where they both cross 100.
I got one more. And you've got to have one too. So listen, if you want to, look at this, Iowa took Achane over 32.5 receiving yards. I mean,
they force feed that guy the ball, so you can't hate that.
No, here's the interesting thing about him too. He gets like 3 catches on the first drive or 2, and then maybe 1 the rest of the game. Yep. Fascinating how it is, but he's been eating, man. He's been eating in the passing game. So you like Waddle, I like Hill, he likes Achane. Dump your favorite bet in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, we got to come up with like a prize for when we hit 2,100, which is coming soon. I guess maybe we'll give you some free gear, free shows. We'll just give you free shows. It'll be as simple as that. And then, of course, 1 week free trial, Nuke November. NukeTheHouse.com/pricing, or hit the subscribe button and you're in. You got another bet for me, Tyler?
Yeah. We're going to go to Tampa Bay and the New York Giants. Why not just take a Mike Evans touchdown? Baker hasn't been able to throw to a very good wide receiver in a few weeks. His guy's back. I think he gets him in the end zone against the Giants defense that is not impressive at all. So I will gladly take a Mike Evans touchdown at about plus 135. And then I have a small parlay for you for holding for some fun. Ooh. The good old wide receivers who haven't found the end zone in a few weeks, they're probably due to get in. Nico Collins got in last week. It just didn't count. Give me Nico Collins. Give me Mike Evans. And we already talked about him, but I'm going to hold my nose and pray to God Sam Darnold will put one in the end zone and give me Justin Jefferson. And that gets you a 9-1 ticket with those 3 score touchdowns. Yeah.
You just have to hope Evans' hamstring doesn't rupture and Nico is not hurt from last week.
It could rupture as long as he catches the touchdown first.
I know the boys in the chat were like, yeah, we want to bet Evans, but we want to see if that guy's leg is even on straight. So, hey, going back to our Dolphins bets real quick. Now, Christian Gonzalez, I was just talking about, one of the best young corners in the game, questionable with a hip injury. So they just threw him on the list too. They're already without Jacqueline Roy, their defensive tackle. Barrymore, another tackle. They could give up. This could get ugly for the Patriots this week. And I know guys are on the other side with Drake May passing, but and I like that because I think the Dolphins could just destroy this Patriots team this week.
Biggest blowout for Sunday is 7-1 for Miami to blow out New England and have the biggest or the widest margin of victory.
Woo! I don't hate
the only game that would worry me at that point is Kansas City just suffocates Carolina.
Yeah, and I know a lot of sharp people that are on Carolina plus 11.5. So I kind of feel good about that. I think the Giants will probably keep it closer than people think. The Commanders could lay the wood down on the Cowboys if we're talking about that bet. I think that's something. Maybe the Texans at home against the Titans, but the Texans.
I'm not as sold on the Texans. They seem to be. Me and Megan, her brother, were talking about this yesterday after our show. Is it just me, or are they being a run-heavy offense out of like they want to be that, or are they doing this out of necessity? Because every time I swear that they try and pass the ball too much, they look like they have a lot of disciplinary issues. Like, how many times do you see an offensive lineman trying to strip his quarterback of the football and run away with it? Not often.
Not often. No, not at all. So I think that's a really interesting point you bring up. I do have one more, and this is I know a lot of the guys in the chat were on this already, but this dude is just such a stud. I don't know if he's going back to back 100-yard games, but he's got back-to-back 100-yard games. Geno Smith loves Jackson Smith and Jigba, JSN. 8th among receivers with 272 yards after the catch. So not only is he getting peppered, he just run, Forrest, run. 290 yards in the last 2 games. He's hot. He's feeling good. DK Metcalf came back last week, and Geno really worked with this guy in the second half. Leads the Seahawks in receptions and receiving yards. He's in the slot, and the Cardinals cannot cover the slot. They have had many issues there, giving up over 5 yards per catch to slot receivers. That's 26th in the league, Tyler. That's bad, man. 23rd in yards per target they're giving up to the slot. And I just, what really stood out to me was that he played the wide receiver 1 role for Geno Smith when they had to have that comeback late against the Niners. He trusts JSN now. JSN's their number 1. JSN, ladder, better's number. We can ladder it a little bit later on, but I absolutely love the spot that Smith and Jigba's in.
Yeah, I think you could ladder his yards. I think you could ladder his catches. I mean, the dude gets pelted with the ball. He had like 12 targets last game. He's finally emerging as that wide receiver everyone penciled in. When there was that group coming out of Ohio State, they said, this is the best one. And he never showed anything. And now he's finally starting to emerge and look like he is the better one of all those guys. So we'll see how he plays. I like the Seattle in that spot. I think it's through the air. I was thinking about doing like a same game parlay where you put an alt of Connor's yards in there, maybe say 70 or 80 rushing. Okay. Go with like a Geno 250 and a JSN to have 80 receiving yards and Seattle win the game. That gets you like a 20-1 ticket. You can easily see where Arizona's running the ball. They're getting points that way, and Seattle's coming through the air, putting the ball in DK, JSN, and Lockett's hands. And Geno Smith throws for 250 or 300. So I like Seattle in the spot. I like your call on JSN. And I think Seattle ends up winning the NFC West. That's my bold call.
Whoa. Hey, now. You're getting crazy, dude. You got any more bets, or are you done, Ski?
I got one that I think we should talk about. It's an award.
Okay, by the way, I'm betting the Nico Evans JJ bet right now.
Yeah, we're definitely betting that. That one's going to cash. But one award prop I think we should get on. It's a long shot of a number, but I think there's pathways we get there. And the number's all wrong on DraftKings on this. Why is Brock Bowers still 30-1 to win Rookie of the Year? You look around books, he's 18. He's 18-1 on certain books. He's 20-1 on other. And DraftKings, he's still 30-1. He's going to break the receptions record as a rookie. He could also break some other records for tight ends as rookies. All that's going to do is keep getting his name brought up in these rookie conversations. And if these two quarterbacks kind of just slowly finish out the season and don't put up big games, there's a pathway. He's right back in it with those two guys. So at 30-1, I think it's worth a shot.
Well, Daniels has not played great his last 2 games. I think he's hurt, personally.
We need Nix to just play average the rest of the way.
I think Nix is a guy, he has a really good matchup this week, but Nix is also a guy that could kind of come back down to earth. But you could see the voters giving a tight end the Rookie of the Year award, Offensive Rookie of the Year award over 2 quarterbacks, and one that's
I think so, yes. When you look at his stats at the end of the year, Holden, he's going to be the best tight end in the league.
Yeah.
He's going to have the most catches of a tight end. He's going to have the most yards. So it's like, wow, the guy who showed up is the best tight end in the league in his first year. I think there's going to be an argument there.
You know what? I don't mind that.
It's 30-1. Like, I think it's worth a few bucks. Like, don't go crazy on it, but I think you can have it. I think you can come closer to the end of the year, and he's like 8-1. And you're like, I'm sitting on a 30-1. There's a pathway I get this home.
Okay. You know what? You got me. Where's the Brock Bowers 30-1?
DraftKings.
Bowers 30-1. OROI. Beautiful.
Like, you're telling me DraftKings odds right now, they have May at 25-1 over Bowers. May can't get this award unless he wins every game the rest of the year.
Again, it's just quarterbacks against the tight end, but we're talking about a historic season.
Once all the records get mentioned and everything, I think that's where his odds just start to. You see the chunks come off of him. 30-1 turns into 20, 20 turns into 15, 15-1 turns into 7, and he's right up in the mix with those two guys.
All right, so here, look, offensive rookie of the year. Last year, Stroud, quarterback. Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase the year before that, the 2 years before that. Herbert, Kyler, Saquon Barkley. Now, we don't see a tight end. Eddie Lacy won the rookie of the year. I love Eddie Lacy, Fat Eddie. But I'll say this, 30-1, it's worth the sprinkle. Maybe he could be the first one. It's not the greatest matchup this week, but if Minshew just
think about how long tight ends usually take to integrate into the game too. I mean, he's the only one that's like, I mean, yeah, last year Laporta, but Laporta this year does not look like Laporta last year. Yeah, like, it looks like he had the rookie boom, and then he ran completely into the sophomore wall. So we'll see what Brock Bowers does after this year, but he looks like the only guy that's hit the ground running.
All right, here's my two best bets. Jameson Williams, over 20.5, longest reception. We're going back to that. We're going to try and hit that for the 5th time in 6 tries. And then my in-game target threw a half a unit on Sam Darnold interception pre-flop at -15. And we'll try and get some plus money on him after the first quarter and see if we can get that there. That to me is what's your best bet?
My best bet's going to be that Anthony Richardson over 39.5 rushing yards. I will alt that up to 60. I think it's a spot where the Colts keep it. It's going to be on the ground. Detroit's defense can't keep missing pieces and just keep playing the same hold. They're going to leak eventually. Alex Anzalone, I don't know how to say the last name. Butchered it right there, but he's now out. I think there's a pathway that the Colts are running the ball pretty well in this matchup, so we shall see.
Okay, very good. I like it. So I got the JMO longest. You got the Richardson rushing. I like.
Then we got to give out that touchdown parlay again. The Justin Jefferson, Nico Collins, Mike Evans at 9-1.
Right, everyone loves a 9-1 or a 30-1.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I got to catch up the keg with all these big numbers.
Yeah. Hey, before we get out of here, I want you to plug the NBA rundown. You guys have been doing a great job. 5 o'clock Eastern, Monday through Friday. What's going on today?
Yeah, 5 o'clock, the NBA. We have the cup games today, so bigger games today.
Ooh.
We've been doing great. Actual record for the season, we're 55, 38-2, up 15 units. And just in the month of November, we're 43, 25-2. We've been crushing it. The show's free. If you don't have a subscription, come watch the show, pet the picks. You'll have a subscription in about a week, and we'll pay for it for you. So it's not a long show either. It's about as long as this one, 28 minutes. You don't have to sit there for an hour. We get all the games done. So just come hang out, listen to us break down the games, make some money.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy the show, and you and Spread have just been killing it. It's a lot of fun. And again, NBA Rundown, our NBA product is growing Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock there. We got the Wednesday night live betting show at Fox. Zargo does NHL, and I'm just hanging out there as well. And then Maddie, yes, we'll do the free code one more time. You can buy a 1-month subscription. I recommend you do it, $59.99, because the likelihood of you doing that after you take the free week, it's right there anyways. But for those of you that want to dip your toe in the water, go to nukethehouse.com, click that subscribe button in the upper right-hand corner, and put in the code Nuke November, ANUKENOVEMBER, Nuke November. And you got that. Oh, I'm going to throw one more out at you because I just saw this. McLaurin ladder against the Cowboys.
I don't hate that. I mean,
Maddie.
Cowboys defense looks absolutely atrocious. Washington off that little bit of a mini bye right here. Gets more time to game plan. It's the Dan Quinn revenge game. They're going to put it on the Cowboys.
Yeah. I
kind of like taking a shot on a Noah Brown touchdown at 3-1. Get to the old revenge narrative. It's ugly, but I mean, if they're up in this game holding, they could do what Detroit did. And they look around, they're like, who wants a touchdown? You want a touchdown? So I think they look at Noah Brown eventually.
Yeah, his number, just the straight number for McLaurin, his best one's 57.5 at Rivers.
I don't hate.
I mean, I gotta bet the number on that one. I got 3 bets I gotta make now. I gotta make that 3-way, that 3-play touchdown with Nico Evans, JJ. I got the Bowers offensive rookie of the year, and I got the McLaurin yards. Matty did us good last night with a little bit of Jalen Warren as well.
I think I was right too. Quinion Mitchell's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's his number at?
About plus 220 right now. I believe the only guy ahead of him is the defensive lineman for the Rams. Yeah, he's plus 210.
All right, cool. I like it, man. All right, boys, we're out of here. Tyler, you're awesome. Thanks for doing it again. Like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Nuke the House if you're on X. Take care of that. Our next live broadcast coming up in just a little bit, 5 o'clock Eastern with the NBA rundown. Remember, Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, our college show with Ray and Dan. Subscribers, Ray threw his play out, so that's up on the sheet now. 1 o'clock slate on Sunday, premium. 4 o'clock slate on Sunday, premium. So you got to have a subscription. And then we'll do Sunday Night Football, and Keg's like, screw it. I'm not doing another show until we get to 2,100 on YouTube subscribers. So that might be premium as well. Might as well just sign up. $59.99 a month or the free week at Nuke November. Okay. For our guy, Tyler. Boy, is it nice to see you, Tyler. Let's go win this money, buddy. I'm excited.
Yep.
My name is Holden, and friends, you better believe it. We're going to nuke the house.